Beloved chosen one, still yourself and listen closely. This is not coincidence. Heaven has arranged this exact moment so your spirit can receive a warning hidden from ordinary ears. December 25th approaches, wrapped in light, laughter, and reunion. Yet beneath the ribbons and greetings, a shadow moves quietly. You must not ignore this. This message is not about fear, it is about foresight. You are not like the rest. You are marked. You may have noticed that right after moments of joy, after sitting with those closest to you, something shifts, your energy drains, your clarity fades, and your desires lose momentum. That is not imagination. That is exchange. The unseen world watches carefully on days of celebration because hearts are open and defenses are low. The ones who gather around you may carry unseen burdens, emotions, or even resentment. When you sit at the same table without discernment, your atmosphere mixes with theirs, and your wish, the one heaven has been preparing, becomes vulnerable. Chosen one. The Spirit reveals this because your manifestation is near. Darkness can sense when heaven is about to bless someone. It cannot destroy you directly, so it sends distraction dressed as affection. A familiar voice, a warm smile, an invitation that feels innocent but carries delay. The warfare of this season is subtle. It is not about arguments or enemies, but about misplaced presence. The enemy studies patterns. He knows that you are most distracted when surrounded by comfort. That's why this message comes before December 25th, to teach you that protection sometimes looks like distance. God is calling you to guard your space, not because He wants you isolated forever, but because He's about to release something fragile, something sacred, and it must grow in stillness. The Spirit whispers, do not despise solitude. Do not mistake divine hiding for abandonment. Every chosen one experiences this before elevation. When God is about to reveal your next level, He withdraws your access to the noise. He trains you to hear His whisper again. And though loneliness may press against you, know that heaven calls it preparation. You must decide now. Will you be available to sentiment or obedient to instruction? The people around you may not understand. They may guilt you with love, saying it's only one day. But you will know it's not about the day. It's about the doorway. Every spiritual gate you open carelessly becomes a leak in your destiny. Be still, chosen soul. Your energy is your altar. Protect it. Pray over it. On December 25th, choose sacred quiet over social noise. You are not avoiding people. You are aligning with purpose. Heaven is rearranging your environment to protect your promise. Every quiet moment you keep is a seed of divine obedience, and every seed planted in silence grows louder in heaven. What others call isolation, God calls incubation. Your wish is being formed in the unseen, wrapped in light, waiting for your complete surrender to stillness. The angels assigned to your destiny are active during this season. They stand guard over your atmosphere, ensuring no contamination reaches your spiritual womb. Do not fear missing out. You are not missing anything. You are gaining spiritual precision. December 25th will mark your protection, not your loss. When you step away from the noise, you create a holy distance where heaven can breathe freely through you. That distance is your shield. The more you honor it, the clearer your discernment becomes. The world celebrates outwardly, but you, chosen one, are celebrating inward transformation, your true gift from God. We are reminded through the writings of David in the book of Psalms, chapter 1, verse 1. Blessed is the one who does not walk in step with the wicked, or stand in the way that sinners take, or sit in the company of mockers. This verse is not a rebuke, it is a code of wisdom. It tells you that blessing is tied to positioning. where you sit, who you commune with, and the energy you allow into your atmosphere all shape your outcomes. On December 25th, many will sit in circles where gossip, envy, and spiritual stagnation disguise themselves as tradition. You must not. Your destiny demands higher vibration, cleaner air, holier company. Remember, God separates before He elevates. Joseph was pulled from his family before his dream unfolded. Moses was hidden in a desert before returning as a deliverer. Jesus withdrew to lonely places to pray. Every chosen one carries a pattern of holy withdrawal. It is never rejection, it is refinement. So when the invitations come and your emotions pull and breathe, and remember this message: you are in spiritual training. One day, you will look back at this decision and see that it was the wall that preserved your blessing. You will realize that God didn't let you lose friends. He filtered your circle to protect your purpose. Chosen one, you stand at a gate between manifestation and delay. Choose wisely. Choose silence. Choose obedience. Heaven's protection is stronger than human approval. If this message resonates with your spirit, acknowledge it in faith. Like this message. Share it so another chosen one can be warned, and subscribe to stay within this prophetic flow. Comment below 77 as a declaration. I choose separation for preservation. Chosen one, the Spirit calls you closer to understanding. You have heard the whisper about December 25th, but now heaven wants to reveal the unseen principle behind it, the law of spiritual exchange. It is subtle, invisible, and powerful. When two souls meet, something always moves between them: peace, joy, heaviness, or confusion. Energy never leaves a meeting neutral. Every time you share space with someone, you are not just exchanging words, you are sharing spiritual frequencies. You may think it's only conversation, but heaven sees currents moving back and forth, like rivers of unseen light and shadow. During celebrations, these exchanges become amplified, for the world opens its emotions wide. Laughter, nostalgia, memories, beautiful things, yet spiritually vulnerable moments. That is when the enemy strikes quietly, through proximity and affection. Chosen one, this is not to make you fear connection, but to make you wise about it. You must know how energy travels. When someone's spirit is heavy and yours is radiant, their heaviness seeks release. The moment you open your presence without discernment, the transfer begins. You may notice it afterward as exhaustion, sadness, mental fog, or strange resistance in your prayer life. That is not coincidence, it is evidence of exchange. You are not paranoid, you are perceptive. Heaven has made your sensitivity a shield, not a weakness. The reason you often feel drained after certain gatherings is because your spirit, full of light, absorbs what others release. This is why God often pulls you away from social noise. He is not punishing you. He is protecting your purity. The Spirit of the Lord reveals that emotional openness is not always spiritual readiness. Sometimes what feels like love is actually a leaky gate. The more you give your energy to unhealed souls, the more you unknowingly invest your divine power into atmospheres that cannot sustain it. This is the mystery of spiritual exchange. Blessings can flow, but so can burdens. On December 25th, when many hearts are wide open, the air becomes thick with both joy and pain. Some will gather in gratitude, others in hidden grief. Those energies mix in the spiritual realm like unseen vapors. If you do not guard your spirit, your wish, the tender promise heaven has planted in your heart, can become entangled in that collective heaviness. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 9. Do not plant two kinds of seed in your vineyard. If you do, Not only the crops you plant, but also the fruit of the vineyard will be defiled. This is a mystery of separation. Your vineyard is your inner world, the sacred ground where your faith grows. If you mix your spiritual soil with energies that carry doubt, bitterness, or resentment, your fruit, your wish becomes polluted. That is why God commands distance, not to withhold love, but to preserve purity. Chosen one, you must learn to discern before you engage, feel before you speak, watch before you embrace. The spirit of discernment is your divine radar. It reveals when a person's energy is clean or contaminated. This is not judgment, it is stewardship. You are the guardian of your atmosphere, and heaven will hold you accountable for what you allow to enter it. When you master this awareness, peace becomes your compass. You will notice that certain people carry calm, while others bring tension. Certain spaces uplift, others drain. The difference is not coincidence, it is current. Every encounter is a transaction. The wise learn to exchange only what heaven authorizes. You will see it happen often. Someone shares a story, and suddenly your mind feels cluttered. Someone hugs you, and your spirit feels heavy. These are not just emotions, they are transfers. But when you remain covered in prayer and grounded in discernment, nothing can stick to you. Your light becomes too pure to absorb darkness. Chosen one, understand this: there is no such thing as harmless energy. Words spoken with envy can become cords that bind. Conversations born from pain can transmit spiritual residue. But when your awareness sharpens, you will walk through atmospheres untouched, because your spirit will recognize what does not belong and release it instantly. This is why heaven trains you to listen in silence before you speak. When you pause, the spirit within you scans the frequency around you. It identifies what is of God and what is not. That pause, small but sacred, can save your wish from unseen sabotage. So, on December 25th, when emotions rise and invitations come, remember this truth: love does not always require presence. Sometimes the purest love is expressed through intercession from a distance. You are not rejecting anyone, you are protecting what heaven has entrusted to you. You are learning the ancient art of spiritual stewardship. When you guard your light, you honor the one who gave it. And when you refuse the wrong exchanges, heaven multiplies your blessings in silence. Walk wisely, chosen one. Protect your vineyard. Let no foreign seed take root in your field. Chosen one, now that your eyes have begun to open to the mystery of spiritual exchange, heaven draws you into a deeper law, the law of open gates. This is one of the oldest spiritual principles, written into the fabric of creation. Every soul has gates: your eyes, your ears, your mouth, and the atmosphere of your heart. Whatever enters through those gates influences what grows inside you. You may pray powerful prayers, but if your gates remain open to the wrong voices, the wrong energies, your manifestation leaks before it matures. You have wondered why, after moments of inspiration, discouragement suddenly appears. Why joy drains without reason. Why peace evaporates after certain encounters. This is the result of unguarded gates. Your wish, once radiant in faith, becomes diluted by external noise. The enemy cannot destroy you directly, so he infiltrates through distraction. A song, a story, a conversation, each one can act as a key that opens or closes your spiritual doors. The Spirit says, pay attention to what enters your space. Not every message deserves your focus. Not every sound deserves your listening. The heart is a temple, and every sound you entertain becomes worship to something, either light or darkness. When you meet others on that sacred day, December 25th, you will face many open gates: laughter, nostalgia, music, emotion. You must decide what enters and what stays out. Chosen one. Heaven is teaching you authority. You have been given spiritual dominion, but dominion is only effective when you know your boundaries. To close your gates is not fear, it is maturity. To say no to certain atmospheres is not arrogance, it is wisdom. The ones who fail to guard their gates spend years rebuilding what was lost in one moment of carelessness. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 26, verse 41, "Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak." This ancient command is not just about resisting sin, it is about maintaining vigilance over your gates. Watch and pray means to remain spiritually awake. The world will always try to lull you into comfort, but your spirit must stay alert. Especially on December 25th, when collective emotions surge and unseen spirits roam freely, drawn to open hearts. You must understand, chosen one, that the enemy studies the rhythm of your gates. He knows when you are tired, lonely, sentimental, or distracted. That is when he sends invitations that look harmless. A message from someone you thought you forgot, a casual encounter with someone from your past. But not every door that knocks deserves an answer. Some doors are bait. Heaven wants you to become a master of your spiritual boundaries. Before you speak, feel. Before you agree, discern. Before you share your wish, pray. Because once a gate opens, the exchange begins, and it is much harder to reclaim what you give away than to guard it from the start. The open gate principle operates like spiritual gravity. Whatever you entertain, you eventually embody. If you constantly listen to words of doubt, your faith weakens. If you constantly expose your emotions to heavy atmospheres, your joy dims. That is why God calls you to selective openness. You are not called to absorb everything, you are called to filter through divine awareness. The time is coming when your obedience will distinguish you. Others will lose their peace to distraction, but you will remain anchored in discernment. Your wish will grow quietly because your gates are sealed under heaven's watch. You will become a fortress of clarity in a generation of confusion. Remember, this protection is not isolation, it is insulation. You carry a holy fire within, and the wind of distraction can extinguish it if you are careless. But when you protect your gates, that same fire grows stronger, turning you into a beacon of divine light. Chosen one, let your silence speak louder than explanation. When you refuse to attend certain gatherings, heaven records it as obedience. When you decline conversations that feel heavy, heaven calls it worship. Each act of discernment strengthens your covering. You are not fragile, you are chosen to be a vessel that carries something sacred. You have been given authority over your own spiritual door. Use it wisely. On December 25th, stand firm. Let your peace be the guard at every entrance of your soul. Let nothing enter that doesn't carry heaven's frequency. Now, pause for a moment and let this truth settle deep within you. You have the power to choose what enters your gates. You have the authority to decide what energy your wish will live in. Heaven trusts you with this responsibility because you are ready to walk in maturity. When this message touches your spirit, let heaven know that you understand and accept your assignment. Comment, guard my gates. It is not just a sentence. It is a prophetic act, a declaration that you choose awareness over carelessness, wisdom over impulse, protection over exposure. By writing it, you align your will with heaven's instruction and close every open door that does not serve your destiny. Your obedience today will protect your manifestation tomorrow. Let the world celebrate freely, but you, God's chosen one, will celebrate wisely. Chosen one, Pause and feel the weight of this truth. Familiarity is the most silent thief of discernment. It makes you assume that because someone has always been near, they must always be safe. Yet heaven reminds you seasons change, spirits shift, and the same proximity that once comforted you can one day carry contamination. The danger lies not only in the obvious, but in the subtle. People who genuinely love you can still release words that weaken your faith. A sigh, a doubtful phrase, a memory spoken without malice. These small things can open unseen cracks in your spirit. Every chosen one must learn this art of subtle discernment. The enemy knows he cannot confront your destiny head-on, so he hides behind what feels harmless. Look closer at the pattern of your life. Notice how certain connections feel heavy after spiritual progress. Notice how, after certain conversations, your clarity fades. That is not emotional sensitivity. It is spiritual feedback. Your spirit detects what your mind has not yet named. The Lord trains you to interpret that inner discomfort not as overthinking, but as divine signaling. Sometimes the ones closest to you carry spiritual residue from their own battles. They have not purified their emotions, and because of love, you let them speak freely into your space. Yet, every word carries a current, and when spoken without discernment, it can plant confusion. They may not intend harm, but the result is the same: a slow leak in your focus, a quiet dulling of your inner fire. Chosen one, you are entering a stage where innocence is no longer your defense. Awareness is. You cannot afford to treat every conversation as casual. For you, words are gates, and your heart is holy ground. The Spirit is teaching you to weigh every sound, to sense every vibration before it settles inside you. This is spiritual maturity. We are reminded through the writings of Solomon in the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 23. Above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. This ancient wisdom is not mere advice, it is a divine law. Everything that flows out of you, your creativity, your purpose, your wish, depends on the condition of your heart. If you guard it well, blessings flow without obstruction. But if you let every emotion, every story, every unresolved pain of others enter it, the river of your purpose becomes muddied. During moments of reunion, such as December 25th, people will speak from nostalgia, not from prophecy. They will remember who you were, not who you are becoming. They will recall your mistakes, laugh at your old struggles, and in doing so, try to fit you back into the pattern you've outgrown. The temptation to blend in will be strong, but chosen ones are not sent to fit. They are sent to transform. There is love in stillness. You can be present without being porous. You can honor memories without allowing old identities to cling to you. When the conversations shift toward the past, keep your spirit anchored in the now. Smile, bless, and let silence protect what words cannot. You owe no explanation for your growth. The Spirit of God is saying, do not confuse peacekeeping with peacemaking. Peacekeeping appeases people. Peacemaking obeys heaven. When you keep silent for fear of judgment, you may protect relationships but lose alignment. When you stand in quiet truth, you may lose approval but gain protection. Heaven always honors the latter. Remember, those who truly love you will grow with you. They will sense your shift and respect it. But those who only loved your vulnerability will resist your strength. Because your evolution exposes what they have refused to confront in themselves. Do not take their discomfort personally, it is revelation. Chosen one, the time is coming when you will feel the need to hide less and stand more firmly in your divine identity. Familiar faces may not all understand, but that is how God separates without division. He turns misunderstanding into camouflage. keeping you hidden until the appointed time. You are being refined for spiritual accuracy. Each lesson sharpens your perception until you can stand in any room, feel the energy shift, and know immediately which presence is of God and which is not. That is true maturity, to remain compassionate yet unentangled. As the days draw closer to that appointed date, remember this truth: not everyone who holds your hand holds your heart rightly. Some simply do not know how to handle what God has placed within you. Forgive them, release them, but do not expose yourself needlessly. Love them as Christ loved the crowds, fully yet wisely. In this discernment lies your preservation. When you understand this, familiar faces no longer deceive you. You see beyond features into frequencies, beyond emotion into energy, beyond words into spirit. And that, beloved chosen one, is how heaven keeps your wish untouched while the world continues to celebrate unaware. Chosen one. Now heaven wants you to see what has been hiding beneath the laughter of celebration, the enemy's holiday strategy. For centuries, darkness has studied human rhythm. It knows when hearts are soft en mots, when minds are distracted, and when faith grows sentimental. That is why the most sacred days often carry the heaviest spiritual ambushes. Imagine the world on December 25th. Lights sparkle like stars. Music fills the air, emotions swell, and memories rise like smoke from 1,000 fireplaces. The atmosphere feels thick with comfort, yet in that comfort, discernment often falls asleep. The enemy knows this. He uses the sound of carols to drown out the voice of warning. He hides among the ornaments and the laughter. What appears as harmony is often camouflage. Chosen one, darkness does not always wear horns. Sometimes it wears smiles, wrapped gifts, and familiar traditions. It understands that when people gather in joy, their gates open. They forget to pray, to listen, to shield. They speak carelessly, reveal deeply, and laugh away what heaven told them to keep sacred. The enemy waits for that exact moment when the line between love and distraction blurs, to steal what he could not take by force. Think of it like this: the human heart is a garden, and December 25th is the day when many open their fences to share fruit with others. But if you do not check the soil of those who enter, their weeds may find root in your ground. It begins subtly, a word of doubt, a comparison, a hidden jealousy disguised as affection. Before long, your garden feels less vibrant, your wish less alive. The Spirit whispers, guard the garden. Joy is holy, but joy without awareness can turn into entry. When you celebrate, celebrate with consciousness. When you laugh, let your laughter be anchored in light. When you share, do so from a place of overflow, not obligation. The enemy's holiday strategy is not to scare you away from love. It is to use love without discernment as a weapon. He thrives in emotional openness without spiritual alignment. On December 25th, while many open gifts, he opens portals. But you, chosen one, are different. You are not called to fear the day, you are called to redeem it. Heaven wants you to approach that day as a warrior cloaked in peace. When you wake up, set your intention. Speak light over your home. Command peace into every corner, and invite angels to guard your atmosphere. Let every decoration become a symbol of protection, every light a reminder of divine vigilance. When you sit at the table, carry stillness within. The enemy cannot feed where peace presides. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 11. Put on the full armor of God, so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. This is not a call to fear, it is a call to preparation. Armor is not heavy when it is worn with purpose. It is the quiet confidence that no matter what surrounds you, heaven surrounds it first. Now hear this. Chosen one, there is beauty in awareness. You do not have to hide from the world, you simply have to shine with wisdom. Be like the lighthouse, it does not fear the storm. It simply stands tall and emits light. While waves crash below, its purpose remains unchanged to guide others without drowning itself. That is who you are becoming, a light that celebrates, protects, and discerns all at once. And as you stand as that light, remember every ripple of your awareness helps others awaken. Each time you share a truth, you plant a seed in someone's storm. That is why your support here matters more than you know. When you like these words, they travel further, reaching souls who might have fallen asleep in comfort. When you share, you become a messenger of discernment, breaking chains silently through wisdom. When you subscribe, you build an altar of connection, a place where heaven continues to pour revelation. And if your heart ever feels led to donate, do it not as a transaction, but as an act of faith. Consider it like watering a well that quenches countless souls. Every seed sown in love multiplies in grace. You are not giving to a voice, you are giving through a voice, back into the very light that sustains your journey. Chosen one. Imagine your life as a lantern in a dark valley. Each gesture of support adds oil to that flame. Each act of generosity keeps the light steady when others flicker. You become part of a divine network of watchman souls who refuse to sleep through the spiritual night. On December 25th, while others unwrap gifts, you will unwrap awareness. While others lose energy to distraction, you will gain strength through intention. You are the one who stands between deception and revelation, holding a lantern that refuses to dim. Heaven sees your obedience and multiplies your light. So when that day comes, smile with wisdom, love with balance, and celebrate with discernment. You are the proof that light can dance even in the presence of shadows and remain untouchable. Chosen one. The Spirit now reveals another dimension of your journey, the power of isolation before manifestation. Many misunderstand this stage because it feels heavy, quiet, and lonely. But what appears as emptiness is actually incubation. Isolation is not rejection, it is the greenhouse of your becoming. Heaven hides what it is about to reveal. Every chosen soul goes through it. Before the miracle appears, God silences the noise. He removes you from distractions, trims relationships, and shields you from the wrong voices. It feels like loss, but in reality, it is preservation. When a seed is planted, it must be buried in darkness before it can reach light. The soil feels cold and silent, yet beneath it, roots are forming. That is you now growing in silence, unseen but unstoppable. You have wondered why the invitations stopped, why certain people no longer call, why your spirit resists what once brought comfort. Heaven orchestrated it. The ones who cannot handle your next season have been gently pulled away. Do not chase what God removed. If they were meant to stay, they would have found peace in your stillness. Isolation is heaven's secret classroom. It teaches you to hear without noise, to move without validation, to believe without applause. It is here, in the quiet, that your wish becomes strong enough to stand. Every chosen one must pass through this narrow gate. Moses had the wilderness, Joseph had the prison, David had the cave, Jesus had the desert. You have your silence, and it is holy ground. In this sacred seclusion, God rewires your heart. You begin to crave stillness more than stimulation. You start recognizing peace as power. The same solitude that once frightened you now feels like sanctuary. This is proof that transformation has begun. Your isolation is not punishment, it is refinement. The Spirit says you are not being hidden from people. You are being hidden for purpose. The butterfly must leave the caterpillar's crowd to become what it was destined to be. That is why you feel detached from certain energies. You are no longer meant to crawl among what you are called to fly over. Heaven speaks clearly through the words in Isaiah chapter 30, verse 15. In quietness and trust is your strength. This verse is your divine code for this season. Your power is not found in movement or noise, but in surrender and trust. When you stop running from the silence begins to speak. It whispers wisdom that the crowd could never deliver. It unveils layers of your calling you could not have seen while distracted. Chosen one. Isolation sharpens your discernment. In solitude, you begin to separate divine intuition from emotional reaction. You start recognizing God's voice not as thunder, but as gentle conviction. The longer you stay still, the clearer everything becomes. You no longer beg for signs, your spirit starts recognizing them naturally. Do not despise these quiet days. The world may celebrate noise, but heaven celebrates stillness. Every moment you spend alone in divine reflection, angels record as obedience. Heaven measures discipline, not popularity. When others chase applause, you chase alignment, and alignment always wins. Soon you will look back and thank God for every closed door, every unanswered call, every friend who drifted away. You will see that their absence was divine architecture. Had you stayed surrounded, your roots would have remained shallow. But God needed you deep anchored, unshakable, and invisible until the appointed time. This season of isolation is also the shield protecting your wish. When God plants something inside you, He covers it from contamination. That is why your spirit feels resistant to company lately. It's not pride, it's preservation. You are carrying something delicate, and heaven cannot risk it being mishandled by untrained hands. So embrace your solitude. Let the silence purify your motives, reset your focus, and strengthen your faith. You are not alone, you are accompanied by divine presence. Heaven does its greatest work in secret. When you emerge, those who doubted you will not recognize you. And when that time comes, your radiance will not need explanation. The same silence that once held you will now echo with power. You will speak differently, walk differently, and think with clarity because you allowed isolation to complete its purpose. Chosen one, this is your prophetic moment. Do not rush it. The cocoon is not your cage, it is your cradle. Stay in it until heaven says move, because when you do, everything waiting on the other side will align effortlessly. If this message resonates deep in your spirit, type below 888 a number of new beginnings, divine order, and infinite breakthrough. Writing it is not superstition, it is agreement. It tells heaven, I accept my isolation as preparation. It marks your surrender to the timing of God, and in that surrender, your power will be revealed. Stay faithful in the quiet. The harvest grows best in silence. Chosen one, now that you understand the value of isolation, heaven leads you to the next revelation: how to recognize the energy thieves. Not everyone who enters your life comes to add. Some arrive to extract. They don't always wear the face of evil, nor do they announce their intentions. Energy thieves are often wrapped in charm, need, or familiarity. Their presence feels comforting at first. But after they leave, your peace feels thinner, your focus weaker, and your faith slightly dimmer. That is how you know. Energy thieves are not always malicious people. Sometimes they are wounded souls who have not learned how to refill their own spirit. They subconsciously reach for your light to survive their own darkness. But the cost of constant giving without discernment is exhaustion. You begin to confuse compassion with depletion. Heaven never called you to be everyone's power source. You were called to reflect light, not to replace God. You may recognize them by the way they always need but rarely pour back. They ask questions but never truly listen to your answers. They appear during your moments of strength, not to celebrate, but to draw from your energy. They leave you feeling responsible for their healing, and the more you give, the more drained you become. This is not love, it's imbalance. Chosen one, your energy is sacred currency. Heaven measures how you spend it. Every thought, every emotion, every conversation either multiplies your power or diminishes it. That is why God teaches discernment, not just to detect evil, but to recognize exhaustion disguised as connection. You must begin to track your atmosphere the same way a wise steward tracks wealth. Ask yourself, who makes my spirit expand, and who causes it to shrink? Heaven speaks again through the wisdom of the ancient word in the book of Proverbs, chapter 27, verse 17. As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. There are also silent thieves, the ones who never speak doubt but carry heavy atmospheres. Their energy enters rooms before their words do. You sense their fatigue, their unspoken sadness, and suddenly you carry it as your own. Empaths, especially chosen ones, often mistake absorption for compassion. But compassion does not mean taking on another's burden. It means interceding without internalizing. You must learn to bless without bonding, to care without carrying. The moment you feel yourself shrinking in someone's presence, recognize the transaction taking place. Withdraw gently, protect your peace. Even Jesus withdrew from the crowds when he felt virtue leave him. That was not rejection, it was restoration. Energy thieves may appear in many forms. Some come as friends who depend emotionally but never evolve. Others appear as relatives who project guilt when you grow distant. Some arrive as co-workers who offload their stress onto your calm. Each one teaches the same lesson: your peace is your boundary. You are not rude for protecting it, you are responsible. The more you mature, the more you'll notice that energy thieves often come right before breakthroughs. They are distractions clothed as duty. Their timing is never random. The closer you move toward your manifestation, the louder they become. They need your focus to feed their stagnation. This is why the Spirit sometimes isolates you before major blessings, to break the cycle of emotional dependency that drains divine power. Recognizing an energy thief does not mean condemning them. It means knowing how to redirect them back to God. You are not their healer. You are a signpost pointing them toward the healer. When you detach in love, you teach them accountability. When you refuse to overextend, you create space for their own growth. That is compassion with wisdom. The danger of remaining blind to these patterns is spiritual fatigue. You may continue serving, smiling, and showing up, yet inside you feel emptied. That emptiness is not depression, it is depletion. You cannot pour from a vessel constantly leaking. You cannot shine if every encounter dims your flame. That is why discernment is not selfish, it is survival. Chosen one, begin to track your recovery speed after every interaction. When you leave a conversation feeling inspired, that person aligns with your assignment. When you leave feeling uncertain or heavy, take note, your spirit has spent energy it wasn't supposed to. Pray, cleanse, and restore your balance. Do not ignore what your body and soul communicate. Heaven is raising you to live with energetic integrity. You will soon notice that peace becomes your greatest detector. You won't need prophetic dreams or signs to know who drains you. Your peace, or lack of it, will speak first. So, guard your atmosphere with quiet authority. Speak life, but know when silence is the better offering. Love deeply, but know when distance is the higher form of compassion. You are not responsible for everyone's healing, you are responsible for your assignment. Let every interaction from now on serve your purpose or your peace. Anything that steals both must go. This is not cruelty, it is clarity. And in that clarity, you will find the strength to protect your wish, your joy, and your divine energy from all who drain without replenishing. Chosen one, the Spirit now unveils a mystery long hidden from the ordinary, the transfer window of the 25th. Heaven operates by appointed times, and so does the kingdom of darkness. Certain days open portals, gateways where spiritual traffic intensifies. These windows are neither good nor evil in themselves. They are neutral frequencies charged by human emotion. What humanity does collectively during those windows determines which force gains dominion. December 25th is one such day. It is wrapped in beauty and joy. Yet spiritually, it becomes one of the busiest crossroads in the unseen realm. When hearts open wide, when emotions surge and voices rise in unison, a global field of energy forms. It is a current of immense power. What heaven designed as celebration can, without discernment, become contamination. The unaware give access to energies that travel swiftly through human connection. Chosen one. Imagine the spiritual world like a marketplace. On normal days, few traders come and go, the flow is manageable. But on December 25th, every stall is open, every path crowded. Words become currency, emotions become transactions, and intentions, whether pure or corrupted, multiply rapidly. In that dense exchange, transfers occur: peace for anxiety, clarity for confusion, blessings for distraction. This is why some feel drained after what should have been joy. It is not just emotional fatigue, it is energetic loss. Heaven does not warn to frighten you, but to equip you. Awareness turns vulnerability into authority. When you understand the nature of these spiritual tides, you no longer drown in them, you learn to surf them. The same day that drains others can empower you if you align correctly. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Daniel, chapter 10, verse 12. From the first day that you set your heart to understand and to humble yourself before your God, your words were heard, and I have come in response to them. This verse reveals timing. Spiritual activity accelerates when human hearts align intentionally. Daniel's prayer opened a portal of response. Likewise, humanity's collective emotion on December 25th opens a field of influence. Angels move swiftly, but so do other spirits. The day is not cursed, it is charged. The question becomes, who commands the current you join? When you engage that day without awareness, your energy drifts with the crowd. But when you enter it grounded in purpose, you become a conductor of heaven's current. Your peace becomes a shield, your silence becomes a filter. Every word you speak, every thought you entertain becomes part of the spiritual traffic. This is why God trains you to think before speaking and to discern before responding. Chosen one, your wish, your divine seed is sensitive to these frequencies. It responds to vibration, not just to prayer. When you remain calm and aligned on a high-energy day, your wish receives the purest charge. But if you open yourself to confusion or negativity, it absorbs distortion instead. This is why heaven warns you not to isolate you from love, but to insulate you from interference. During the transfer window, everything you release multiplies. Joy shared intentionally amplifies light across families and cities, but complaints, gossip, or fear also ripple outward. The universe does not distinguish tone, it multiplies energy. You must therefore become deliberate with your words. Speak only what you wish to see grow. The wise do not fear transfer, they master it. They understand that energy obeys focus. When you set your heart to gratitude, peace flows back to you. When you dwell in resentment, unrest mirrors itself. December 25 magnifies whatever lives within. That is why preparation matters more than participation. Before the day arrives, cleanse your space. Pray over your atmosphere. Set intentions of peace, clarity, and protection. You are not powerless. You are a conductor of divine energy. What you carry will influence the environment around you more than you realize. Chosen one. This awareness will turn your December 25 from a day of loss into a day of empowerment. While others unconsciously give away fragments of their strength through uncontrolled emotions, you will stand as an anchor, still, radiant, and untouched. Heaven will use your alignment as a stabilizing force for those near you. You may not speak much, but your presence will carry weight. Energy thieves will feel discomfort near you because your light will no longer offer absorption, it will reflect. Your calmness will repel chaos. Your silence will command peace. So remember, December 25 is not your enemy. It is a test of stewardship. Those who enter it unaware scatter their blessings. Those who enter it aligned multiply them. Let your awareness turn the transfer window into a channel of divine exchange, your peace for heaven's presence, your silence for strength, your wish for manifestation. And when the day passes, you will feel different, not drained, but charged, because you have learned to stand still while the world spins, becoming what heaven always intended, a stabilizer in times of spiritual traffic, a guardian of sacred energy, a living testimony that knowledge truly becomes power when governed by light. Chosen one. Now that you understand the unseen exchanges that occur in moments of openness, heaven needs you to grasp one more sacred principle. Your words become contracts. Every sound released from your mouth carries spiritual authority. What you speak, you sign. Words are not mere air. They are keys, seals, and spiritual documents that either build or break your future. On December 25th, when laughter fills the air and emotions flow like rivers, the world forgets this law. People joke carelessly, confess pain without filter, and declare things they do not mean. But the spiritual realm does not recognize sarcasm or emotion, it only recognizes agreement. When you speak, you give permission. The moment a word leaves your lips, it begins to look for manifestation. Heaven created words as vessels of creation. When God said, "Let there be light," He was not making poetry, He was initiating reality. The same breath that spoke galaxies into existence flows through you. That is why your words carry weight. But the enemy, cunning and patient, waits for the moments when your guard is down, when you are emotional, laughing, or tired, and tempts you to say what you should never agree with. Perhaps you have said, "I'm so unlucky," or "I never get a break," or "maybe it's not meant for me." You thought it was harmless, but the spirit realm heard it as a contract. Darkness is legalistic. It cannot act without consent. So it collects these careless declarations and uses them as open doors to delay your destiny. Chosen one. This is why discernment of speech is critical in this season, especially on days like December 25th, when collective energy amplifies every vibration, every joke, every confession, every "I wish" carries multiplied impact. You must speak as one who understands the law of creation. Every word is a seed, and seeds never stay small. They wait in the soil of time for emotion and focus to water them. When spoken in faith, they bloom into blessings. When spoken in fear, they become thorns. Heaven listens to your language as prophecy, not conversation. So before you speak, breathe. Let peace settle in your spirit like calm water. From that stillness, your words will flow with clarity and purpose. The world may talk idly, but you are called to speak intentionally, to let every sentence build, heal, and bless all who hear you. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 12, verse 37, "For by your words you will be acquitted, and by your words you will be condemned." This is not punishment, it is spiritual accountability. Your words shape your energy, and your energy shapes your atmosphere. Heaven does not want you to fear speech, but to use it intentionally. Let your mouth become an altar that releases only light. Chosen one, think back to moments when your atmosphere shifted after a conversation. Maybe you laughed too long at a self-deprecating joke, or agreed too quickly with someone's limitation about you. These are micro-agreements, small seeds that grow into patterns of delay. They weaken your spiritual walls not through major rebellion, but through subtle consent. You are being trained to break these hidden contracts. Every time you feel tempted to say something rooted in fear, replace it with truth. When someone calls you unlucky, declare quietly, "I am favored." When they doubt your future, respond gently, "My path is guided." The power is not in volume but in vibration. The universe responds to frequency, not emotion. Heaven is not asking for silence, but precision. When you master your speech, you master your reality. Your tongue becomes a pen of destiny, writing stories that heaven can endorse. That is why darkness always attacks your mood first, because your emotions influence your declarations. But when you remain grounded, your words remain aligned. You must understand, chosen one, that on high energy days like December 25th, even simple conversations carry binding power. When families gather and speak of the past, when people reminisce or complain, the atmosphere becomes fertile soil for words. If you do not guard your mouth, you may plant seeds of delay in your own garden. Speak blessings instead. Speak protection. Speak joy. The mature chosen learns to listen before speaking, to weigh words as if each one carried gold. Because in truth, they do. Every sentence builds a world. Every word is a bridge or a wall. You are being called to build worlds with your speech. Do not curse what God has blessed. Do not declare lack when abundance is forming. Even silence can be worship when words might wound. So, when December 25th comes, walk into every space knowing your mouth is a scroll and your tongue, the pen, release only what heaven can multiply. Now, if this message stirs your spirit and awakens something within, take a brief pause and affirm your agreement. Comment, "I speak life." You're not typing for attention, you're making a declaration. You're breaking unseen contracts signed in ignorance and replacing them with truth. When you write it, heaven records it. It becomes a living covenant that cancels every careless word and reclaims your authority. From this day forward, your words will no longer work against you, but for you. They will build light, invite favor, and seal your wish in divine power. Speak life, chosen one, and watch heaven respond. Chosen one. As heaven continues to unfold this revelation, the Spirit now draws your eyes toward the unseen battleground, the battle over your wish. What you desire is not just a dream, it is territory in the Spirit. Every promise God plants inside you becomes a declaration of war. Darkness does not fight what does not threaten it, but your wish, pure, divine, and aligned, disturbs the realm of opposition. Imagine your wish as a glowing ember in the night. Heaven breathes on it gently, nurturing it toward manifestation. But in the distance, shadows stir. Every time your faith flickers, those shadows rush forward, trying to smother the flame. The battle is not physical, it is energetic. It happens in your thoughts, your emotions, your words. You are both the warrior and the battlefield. This is why fatigue hits you when you begin to believe again. This is why obstacles rise suddenly after moments of breakthrough. It's not coincidence, it's counterattack. The closer you get to manifestation, the more resistance increases. Heaven is not punishing you. It is training you to hold your blessing with strength. Chosen one. Understand this: every wish carries weight. The heavier its impact on the world, the fiercer the battle that guards it. That's why small dreams come easily, but divine ones demand endurance. You are birthing something that will echo through generations, and labor always precedes delivery. The seed of your wish trembles not because it is weak, but because it senses the magnitude of what it's becoming. Like a volcano beneath calm earth, quiet pressure builds until destiny erupts. Every tear, every delay, every battle is preparation for that holy explosion of fulfillment. Your perseverance is prophecy in motion. When you keep believing through fatigue, heaven writes your name among those who endured until promise became sight. The battle over your wish isn't punishment, it's promotion. The greater the warfare, the greater the proof that your miracle carries eternal purpose. As the Apostle Paul wrote in his second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 4, "The weapons we fight with are not the weapons of the world. On the contrary, they have divine power to demolish strongholds." Your weapon is not aggression, it is alignment. Prayer, silence, gratitude, and focus are your spiritual armor. The enemy cannot touch what you refuse to fear. Fear is the only door he can walk through, and every time you choose peace, you slam it shut. Picture your wish as a delicate seed carried in your hand while crossing a storm. Wind screams, rain lashes, but your task is simple: don't drop it. Keep walking. The soil ahead is already prepared, waiting for that seed to take root. The storm is not proof of failure, it's proof of significance. Chosen one, there is a rhythm to spiritual warfare. It is not constant chaos, it is waves. When resistance rises, it is not a sign to retreat, it is a call to anchor deeper. You win not by louder prayers, but by unshakable stillness. Your calm terrifies the enemy because it proves you know who commands the battle. This fight over your wish is not about possession, it's about permission. Heaven already granted it. Darkness only tries to convince you to surrender it through weariness or doubt. The enemy cannot cancel what God has spoken, but he can distract you until you stop nurturing it. That's why your focus is sacred ground. Protect it the way a watchman guards a city gate. When discouragement whispers, remember, even silence is warfare when your faith remains steady. When exhaustion hits, rest becomes your sword, for it declares that you trust heaven's timing more than your own effort. Every calm breath in chaos is an act of victory. Chosen one, your wish is not fragile, it is alive. It is guarded by angels who move at the sound of your faith. Even when you feel abandoned, heaven is orchestrating behind the veil, rearranging people, circumstances, and time itself to fulfill what was promised. You may not see the movement, but you can feel it. Every surge of intuition, every holy restlessness is a sign that manifestation draws near. You have fought long and quietly, but you are closer than you think. The battle may rage, yet victory has already been written in your favor. You are not striving for it, you are walking toward its unveiling. And as you walk, know this: the energy you sow into your faith helps others rise too. That's why this space, this voice, and this message exist to remind the weary warriors that they are not alone. When you like, it is more than a button. It is light released into the digital night, pushing back the fog for someone else. When you share, you become a bridge helping another chosen one find clarity amid their confusion. When you subscribe, you anchor yourself in a flow of revelation, allowing heaven to keep speaking through this channel without interruption. And if ever your spirit feels stirred to donate, know this: it is not a transaction. It is worship through trust. Giving is spiritual participation, the act of pouring oil into the lamp that continues to burn for others. Every seed of generosity keeps the message alive, ensuring the light never dims. Chosen one, your wish is sacred fire. Protect it. Feed it with faith, not fear. The battle is fierce because the outcome is glorious. Stay grounded in gratitude, and you will soon see what others doubted. Heaven is not testing your strength, it is revealing it. You are the living proof that light, when resisted, shines brighter. Chosen one. Heaven now turns your eyes from the outer battle to the quieter, more mysterious one within the divine delay test. This test is not punishment, nor rejection. It is the furnace through which faith becomes gold. Every chosen one must pass through it. Delay is not denial, it is divine pacing, a holy interval where your heart is measured and matured. When your wish seems close yet just out of reach, you are in the sacred classroom of delay. It is where God observes whether your faith is tied to His timing or your own desire. The delay reveals your depth, it exposes what you believe when nothing seems to move. Anyone can worship in manifestation, only the truly chosen can worship in waiting. The Spirit whispers, "Do you trust me when you can't trace me?" That question is the essence of the test. Heaven already wrote your outcome. The delay is about shaping your vessel to hold the blessing without spilling it. Because blessings arrive heavy. Without maturity, what you prayed for could become what you regret. God is not withholding, He is preparing. Think of it like a bow being drawn backward. To the arrow, it feels like regression, tension, captivity. But the archer knows every backward pull increases distance and precision. Your delay is that pull. It feels like retreat, but it's divine aim. The tension you feel is proof of potential power. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 8. "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord." Heaven's reasoning cannot be measured by human logic. The delay is not God changing His mind. It's God aligning your surroundings to match His promise. Sometimes, the path must clear, people must shift, and your own spirit must expand before the answer fits. Chosen one. This is why God delays what He could deliver immediately. If He gave it too soon, your environment might crush it. If He gave it too easily, your gratitude might fade. The waiting season fertilizes humility, endurance, and reverence. It rewires impatience into peace, teaching you that slow miracles are the ones that last longest. Look back at your life. How many times did you beg for something you now thank God for delaying? You once called it disappointment, but later you saw it was direction. Heaven's no was never rejection, it was redirection toward a better alignment. The divine delay also serves as a filter. It reveals who belongs in your future and who doesn't. During waiting, people show their true loyalty. Some walk away when results slow, proving they were attached to your progress, not your purpose. Others stay, quietly believing beside you. Those are your covenant companions. Delay separates consumers from keepers. Chosen one. God uses waiting to refine not just your faith but your focus. The longer the pause, the clearer your motives become. You start discerning whether you wanted the blessing for recognition or for service. Heaven will never release something meant to glorify ego. Delay ensures purity of intention. There is also protection within delay. You may not see it, but every postponement shields you from premature exposure. A door opening too early can destroy what it was meant to reveal, like fruit ripened before its time. Early success spoils quickly. God's timing is the sunlight that ripens destiny to perfection. During the test of divine delay, you may feel forgotten. Heaven seems silent, prayers echo back empty. But silence does not mean absence. When God hides his voice, it is because he is strengthening yours. You are learning to prophesy from within, to believe without external confirmation. That is what separates believers from prophets, the ability to hold faith in darkness. Chosen one, in the waiting, miracles often happen quietly. Character reshapes, perspective deepens, discernment sharpens. When manifestation finally arrives, you'll realize the waiting was the real miracle. It built in you what blessings alone never could. Do not measure progress by visible movement. Even when nothing seems to shift, spiritual construction continues behind the curtain. Heaven builds silently, layer by layer, until everything aligns. That's why breakthroughs often appear sudden. They were never late. They were simply unveiled on schedule. If you could see what God is orchestrating while you wait, you would rest easier. Angels are rearranging, divine timing is syncing, and your future self is already standing where you're meant to be. Waiting is not delay, it's synchronization. So breathe, hold still in the sacred tension. The bow is drawn, but soon it will release. You will soar farther than you imagined, precisely because you endured the pull. Chosen one, wear your waiting like armor, not chains. Every minute in delay is a moment of divine investment. Heaven is not ignoring your prayers, it is engraving them deeper into destiny. The slower the engraving, the more permanent the mark. And when the time arrives, and it will, everything will unfold effortlessly. Doors will open without knocking. People will appear without searching. Opportunities will feel tailor-made. You'll realize that the delay was never working against you. It was building a world fit for your arrival. Until then, stay anchored. Keep peace as your rhythm. The pause is holy, and your patience is worship. Heaven is not late. Chosen one, it is exact. Chosen one. As the veil continues to lift, heaven now calls your attention to the signs you must stay hidden. This is the most misunderstood stage of the journey, when everything within you is ready to burst forth. Yet the Spirit whispers, wait. Stay unseen a little longer. It is here that impatience tries to disguise itself as boldness. But the wise know exposure before establishment is danger disguised as opportunity. There are signs, holy signals that reveal when God is commanding concealment. You may feel a pull to retreat even when doors seem open. You may notice that conversations suddenly drain your clarity, or that peace leaves the moment you begin to share too much. These are not coincidences, they are divine alerts. Heaven hides what it values until the world is ready to receive it. Every chosen one must learn the rhythm of concealment. Even Jesus often said, "My time has not yet come." He carried infinite power, yet moved with perfect restraint. That is divine maturity, the ability to be great in silence. The urge to prove yourself, to explain, to announce. These are subtle temptations meant to lure you out of divine timing. When you sense these signs, spiritual fatigue, increased misunderstanding, unusual sensitivity, or dreams of confinement, it is not attack, it is instruction. Heaven is whispering, withdraw, for what you carry is fragile. You are in the chrysalis stage again, your wings are forming. A butterfly that leaves the cocoon too early cannot fly. Chosen one. Hiding is not the absence of progress, it is the protection of process. You are not retreating, you are maturing underground like a seed. The soil is dark, but the silence is sacred. Every hidden season carries unseen miracles. Emotional healing, new perception, recalibrated vision. If you rush this phase, you risk leaking the oil meant for your next level. as was spoken in the sacred texts of old, in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 7. A time to be silent and a time to speak. This is heaven's compass for discernment. Silence and speech are both weapons, but knowing when to wield which one determines victory. Speaking in the wrong season can expose your promise to voices unprepared to hear it. Silence, on the other hand, shields the seed until it grows roots strong enough to resist storms. Chosen one. Many lose their blessings not because of disobedience but because of premature exposure. You must understand some eyes are not ready to see what you carry. Their perception, clouded by envy or fear, could distort your vision if you seek validation too soon. Protect the unseen. The womb of destiny must remain sealed until heaven says, "Now." You will know it's time to stay hidden when what once fit you begins to feel small. Yet no new door opens. When conversations that once inspired now feel draining. When the spirit draws you toward solitude and the world misreads it as distance. These are sacred signals. Heaven often blinds others to you when transformation is near, because it must complete the work without interference. During this time, don't explain your silence. Explanation invites contamination. Those who are spiritually aligned will sense your process without demanding access. Those who do not understand will talk, but their words will not reach you if your focus remains upward. Heaven is your audience now, not people. In your hidden season, learn to listen more than you speak. Observe patterns. Study energy. Sharpen perception. God is downloading blueprints for your next assignment, and distraction is your greatest threat. Even love must have boundaries during divine construction. When you are building something eternal, not everyone can hold the blueprint. Chosen one, you will feel tension between visibility and privacy. The world rewards noise, but heaven rewards stillness. Resist the urge to announce what's still forming. Every masterpiece develops in secrecy. The painter works before unveiling. The author writes before releasing, and God shapes you before revealing you. There will come a moment when silence feels like suffocation, but that is only because your spirit is expanding. Breathe through it. What you feel as pressure is the breath of heaven enlarging your capacity. When it's time to step out, you won't need to force anything. Grace will open every door and favor will announce you louder than words ever could. Until then, let your silence be your strategy. Let prayer be your language. Let peace be your posture. What God is shaping in the shadows will soon radiate in light, but not yet, not until it's complete. You are not hiding because you're weak. You're hidden because you're precious. The diamond is formed away from sight, beneath layers of pressure. You are that diamond. If this word confirms what your spirit already sensed, type 44444 below. This is not random, it is prophetic. The number 4 symbolizes foundation, divine structure, and stability. When you comment it, you are declaring, I choose alignment over attention. I will wait for God's perfect unveiling. It's your silent covenant with heaven that you will not rush what must be refined. Chosen one. Hidden seasons are heaven's laboratories of greatness. The world sees nothing, but heaven sees everything. Stay still, stay faithful, and when the time comes, you will emerge radiant, refined, and unshakably ready. The silence will make sense. Chosen one. The Spirit now brings you to a law that few understand, but all must walk through the sacred substitution principle. It is a mystery woven into the foundation of divine exchange. What you withhold from the wrong people multiplies when released in the right season. Every act of restraint plants invisible seeds that bloom later as abundance. In the natural world, it seems unfair. Why give up what feels right? Why walk away when love, comfort, or opportunity calls? Yet in the spirit, surrender is not loss. It is strategy. Heaven trades differently than earth. God does not take something from you without preparing a greater substitution. The key is trust. The sacred substitution principle operates like the tides of the ocean. When the waves withdraw, it looks like retreat, but it is only gathering strength to return with greater force. When heaven asks you to hold back, to step away, to say no, to remain silent, it is pulling your tide backward to prepare a surge. Every no you obey in the spirit builds the momentum of your coming yes. Chosen one. Consider this: each time you choose obedience over emotion, you make a divine trade. You surrender the temporary for the eternal. The unseen ledger of heaven records those decisions not as sacrifices but as investments. Your restraint today becomes your resource tomorrow. You are never truly giving up, you are simply transferring your energy from the visible to the invisible. Think about Abraham, who was asked to offer Isaac. It looked like loss, yet God provided a ram. That is the law of sacred substitution. The moment your heart proves willing to surrender, heaven releases replacement, and not equal replacement, but multiplied return. What you offer in obedience is never wasted, it is exchanged. Chosen one. The hardest part is the waiting between the giving and the return. That is where trust feels most fragile. When heaven asks you to let go of people, opportunities, or comforts, it rarely tells you what's next. The silence tests your belief in the unseen balance. But faith must learn to breathe underwater, to trust that even when all seems taken, divine compensation is already forming beneath the surface. As the apostle wrote in the letter to the Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9, "Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." This is the pulse of substitution, holding steady between sowing and reaping. Every moment of obedience becomes currency in the economy of heaven. The world counts what is visible. Heaven multiplies what is hidden. Often you will feel as though you are giving more than you receive. You'll pour kindness into silence, loyalty into betrayal, prayer into drought, but unseen. Your giving climbs into heaven's treasury, compounding in interest. When the appointed time arrives, the release comes suddenly, doors open effortlessly, opportunities find you, and everything you thought lost returns transformed. The Spirit wants you to understand withholding is not always selfishness. Sometimes it is sacred stewardship. When God tells you not to give time, attention, or affection to certain people or places, He is redirecting your flow toward fertile soil. The wrong soil will only consume your energy. The right one multiplies it. Every chosen one faces this test. The generous heart must learn boundaries, or it becomes a leaking vessel. The strong spirit must learn when to rest, or it collapses from constant giving. The wise soul must learn when to release, or it becomes attached to what heaven is trying to replace. Chosen one. Every closed door has a mirror somewhere in the spirit. The reflection will appear later as something better, cleaner, stronger, aligned. You may cry over what is gone, but heaven smiles, for it knows what is on the way. The substitution always carries greater weight than the surrender. There is also beauty in how substitution reshapes your perspective. When you let go, your hands become free to receive. When you stop chasing, what is yours finds you. The flow of divine exchange depends on emptiness. Full hands cannot catch falling blessings. Heaven waits for space before pouring base. Do not fear the withdrawals that happen suddenly. When someone walks away or when an opportunity collapses overnight, don't panic. Heaven rarely subtracts, it rearranges. What seems like decrease is often divine decluttering. God removes what can't survive your elevation. Chosen one. This principle will follow you throughout your journey. Each surrender will strengthen your authority. Each withheld word, each quiet decision to walk away, will build invisible power within you. The world may think you lost, but heaven records you as victorious. The realm of light always restores with interest. One day soon, you'll stand in awe as everything you released returns in refined form. Relationships healed, dreams resurrected, resources multiplied, and in that moment, you'll understand nothing surrendered to God ever disappears. It simply changes hands. What you withheld from the wrong becomes tenfold in the right, so rest in your restraint. Chosen one. Trust your trade-offs. Heaven's math is perfect, even when it looks like subtraction. Every letting go is really letting in an exchange so divine that no human calculation can measure it. Chosen one. The Spirit now draws you into a moment of deep reflection, the unveiling of the crown of obedience. This crown is not made of gold or jewels, but of invisible glory, peace that cannot be shaken, clarity that cannot be corrupted, and favor that cannot be earned by effort. It is the mark placed upon those who choose God's will even when it breaks their own. Obedience is heaven's highest form of worship. It is love translated into action. The angels understand this truth well. They move not by emotion but by command. Humanity, however, is tested differently. You are asked to obey not when the path is clear, but when it feels clouded. To obey when your logic argues, your emotions tremble, and your surroundings make no sense. That's the obedience that crowns. Every act of obedience is a victory unseen by men but celebrated in heaven. When you silence your flesh and say, "Not my will but yours," the unseen realm shifts in your favor. Obedience opens doors that talent cannot. It turns delay into acceleration and turns what once resisted you into what now assists you. It is the key that unlocks the vault of divine favor. But make no mistake, obedience is rarely easy. It demands surrender at the highest level. It asks you to walk away from comfort, to speak when silence feels safer, to wait when everything within you screams to act. Obedience crucifies impulse, yet from that death comes resurrection power. Every time you obey, something in you dies that was never meant to live, and something eternal takes its place. Think of Abraham leaving his homeland, Noah building the ark in a drought, Esther stepping before the king at risk of death. Each act of obedience looked irrational to human eyes but produced eternal impact. Heaven measures obedience not by outcome, but by alignment. Success in the Spirit is not defined by visible results, but by invisible agreement with divine instruction, as was declared in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 2. All these blessings will come on you and accompany you if you obey the Lord your God. Notice the language: blessings will come on you and accompany you. They do not need to be chased. They are drawn to obedience the way light is drawn to truth. You don't have to strive for what naturally follows submission. The crown of obedience also brings discernment. As your will bends to heaven's, your spiritual perception sharpens. You begin to hear God in subtler ways, in the rhythm of nature, in the pause before words, in the quiet stirring of conscience. Obedience creates frequency alignment. You and heaven begin to move in sync, like two instruments tuned to the same note. This crown also protects. When you walk in obedience, even the traps set for you become tools for elevation. What others meant for harm becomes the staircase to greater authority. Because obedience doesn't just please God, it commands the cooperation of creation. The elements themselves begin to favor those who walk in divine order. Chosen one. The longer you walk this path, the more you'll notice that obedience transforms identity. You stop acting from emotion and begin acting from revelation. You no longer need to understand before trusting. Your heart learns to say, even if it costs me, I will still follow. That surrender is what marks you as royalty in the spirit. The crown of obedience does not glitter under earthly light, it glows with eternal substance. And though no human eye may see it now, heaven sees it every time you choose righteousness over rebellion, patience over haste, integrity over convenience. Every quiet yes echoes across eternity, shaping generations that will never know your name but will live under the shade of your obedience. This crown also carries weight. It is not for decoration, it is for responsibility. To wear it means to become an example. Others will be drawn to your stability, your peace, your light, and though they may not understand your private battles, they will feel your authority. Obedience turns ordinary souls into living testimonies. Silent sermons in human form. Chosen one, your journey has not been about perfection but submission. You have failed, risen, fallen again, and yet kept returning to the narrow road. That persistence is proof that the crown is forming. Heaven is not looking for flawless saints but for willing hearts. The moment you say, yes, Lord, even now, the angels adjust your armor and your crown shines brighter. In the days to come, your obedience will speak for you louder than words ever could. Opportunities will find you without striving. People will feel peace in your presence and not know why. It will be because your obedience has altered your frequency. Your spirit will hum the song of heaven's approval. So walk humbly but know your worth. The crown of obedience is already resting upon you, unseen but unmistakable. Its weight will steady your walk. Its glow will guide your steps, and its grace will guard your wish. Chosen one, as your crown begins to shine, heaven wants you to understand the weight of light itself, what happens when light collides with familiar darkness. This moment is both glorious and dangerous. When your illumination rises, everything connected to you reacts. Some will be drawn to your glow. Others will recoil as if your very presence exposes them. But do not be alarmed, light always disrupts before it delivers. You carry a radiance that cannot remain hidden. It seeps through your words, your peace, even your silence. But remember this when new light appears. Old shadows panic. The people who once walked comfortably with you may feel uncomfortable now. Not because you have changed for the worse, but because your frequency no longer matches theirs. Every chosen one must face this collision, the moment when light meets what it once tolerated. Imagine dawn breaking over a valley. The night does not surrender quietly, it lingers, stretches, tries to hold on. The same happens in your atmosphere. When God elevates you, everything unaligned begins to shake. Conversations feel different, atmospheres grow tense, certain faces withdraw. That's not rejection, it's spiritual reorganization. Darkness must retreat before new dimensions can unfold. This clash is not meant to scare you, but to show you your authority. Light never apologizes for shining. The sun doesn't dim to comfort the night, it rises regardless. The moment you start carrying divine truth, you become a living sunrise. Darkness may whisper accusations, but it cannot silence illumination. The only mistake would be shrinking to make others comfortable. As the Apostle John recorded in the Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 5, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." That verse is your identity. Chosen one. You are not just in the light, you are the light heaven placed in this time. Every space you walk into changes because of it. Your presence exposes what has hidden too long: false intentions, hidden fears, spiritual laziness. Some will thank you for awakening them. Others will resent the mirror you hold up. Yet both reactions confirm your purpose. You may notice tension growing in places that once felt peaceful. That's because peace built on illusion collapses when truth enters. Don't mistake disruption for failure. Sometimes it's heaven's way of clearing your environment. The shaking you feel isn't punishment, it's purification. When light collides with darkness, only what's real remains standing. Chosen one, this season will demand courage. You'll need to love without losing clarity, to forgive without reattaching, to stand firm when old energies pull. Some will call you distant, others proud, but heaven calls you set apart. The glow they resist is the answer to prayers they once prayed. The more you grow, the more your existence challenges stagnation. But take comfort, every true light bearer has walked this road. Moses' face shone after the mountain, and people couldn't even look at him. Jesus' words divided households before they healed hearts. Paul's revelation made him an outcast among his peers. The collision of light and darkness always begins with misunderstanding but ends in transformation. You are being refined into a living torch, one that not only survives the dark, but guides others through it. Your light is not for decoration, it's for direction. Every act of integrity, every moment of compassion, every decision to choose righteousness strengthens the flame. Darkness cannot comprehend consistency, it thrives on confusion. So remain steady, even when misread. And as you continue to shine, remember that even light requires fuel. Every word shared, every revelation written, every message spoken takes spiritual oil to burn. That is why I humbly ask if these words ignite something within you like this message. It's more than a reaction. It's a spark that keeps this flame visible to those still wandering in the dark. When you share, you become a lantern bearer, passing the flame forward so another soul can find their way home. When you subscribe, you anchor yourself to a well of ongoing light, a sanctuary of truth amid noise. And if you ever feel led to donate, see it not as charity but as sacred oil poured into the lamp that lights this path for others. Every seed you sow ensures that the glow continues, reaching hearts you may never meet yet eternally touch. Your support is not about numbers, it's about nourishment. Each gesture, each comment is a ripple of gratitude that strengthens the light's reach. And yes, leave your reflection below. Share how your light has collided with old darkness. Your words are testimony, and testimonies are torches. They guide others through the same valleys you've overcome. You never know who waits for your story to ignite their courage. Chosen one, the collision may shake you, but it cannot break you. You were designed for illumination. Let the night react. Your task is only to shine. Every misunderstanding will turn into revelation. Every shadow that flees will make space for new life to bloom. Keep shining, not louder but purer. Keep walking, not faster but deeper. And remember, when light collides with darkness, it's not destruction, it's transformation. You are heaven's sunrise, breaking through the longest night. Chosen one, as your light steadies after collision, heaven now brings you to the moment of mercy, the redemption window. This is the sacred interval where grace reopens what disobedience or delay once closed. It is the place between justice and compassion, where God whispers, "Return and I will restore." Many never recognize it because it comes quietly, wrapped not in thunder but in tenderness. The redemption window appears when your heart softens after resistance. It is that sudden awareness that you've strayed from divine rhythm and yet feel an overwhelming pull back toward alignment. The enemy will try to cloak that pull in shame, whispering that you've gone too far, failed too deeply, or waited too long. But those are lies. Grace has no expiration date. It only waits for recognition. Chosen one, redemption is not about erasing the past. It is about transforming its purpose. God never wastes a wound. Every mistake, Every rebellion, every detour becomes a tool in his hand once you surrender it. The pain that once disqualified you becomes the very evidence of his patience. That is the paradox of grace. It turns ashes into architecture. You may have lost time, opportunities, or relationships, but heaven restores in dimensions beyond human measure. When the door reopens, it doesn't just bring back what you lost, it multiplies what you learned. The delay becomes an advantage because now you walk wiser, softer, stronger. That is what the redemption window does. It allows you to re-enter destiny with greater authority. Heaven speaks again through the writings of the prophet Joel. Chapter 2, verse 25. I will restore to you the years that the locust has eaten. This promise stretches across eternity. It is not poetic. It is legal in the spirit. Restoration is a decree. God reclaims what was devoured by distraction, fear, or rebellion and reweaves it into your timeline as testimony. The locusts may have consumed the visible harvest, but they could not touch the roots. And roots, once watered again, grow faster than before. Chosen one. The enemy thrives on despair because despair disconnects you from motion. But the moment you choose repentance, a change of heart, a turning of direction, grace floods in like morning light through cracked blinds. Heaven rushes to fill every empty corner of your soul. You begin to sense movement again, ideas returning, opportunities re-emerging, favor circling back in unexpected ways. That's not coincidence, it's redemption responding to recognition. The redemption window often feels like a second chance disguised as routine. A familiar invitation reappears. A person you wronged crosses your path again. An old dream begins to stir. It's heaven testing your readiness not to punish, but to prove that you have learned the rhythm of trust. What you mishandled before, you can now sustain with maturity. Do not despise small beginnings in this season. Redemption rarely arrives in grandeur, it comes as a whisper, a new door that looks ordinary. But when you walk through it, the landscape beyond is breathtaking. The same God who restores years can rebuild entire destinies. Chosen one, do not let regret chain you. Guilt is the shadow that follows redemption's light, trying to make you believe you don't deserve what grace freely gives. But grace is not earned, it's received. The power of redemption lies in humility. When you admit your need, heaven does not lecture, it lavishes. Some of the greatest warriors of faith were once marked by failure: Moses the fugitive, David the adulterer, Peter the denier, Paul the persecutor. Yet all became vessels of unimaginable glory because they stepped through the redemption window when it opened. They refused to let shame define them longer than obedience could redeem them. This is the invitation before you now. The time of wandering ends when awareness begins. Do not stand outside the open gate because of pride or fear. The shepherd's voice still calls, gentle but firm. Come home. When you step through, the past does not vanish, it transforms. What was once a grave becomes a garden. The pain that buried you becomes the soil where your testimony will grow. Redemption never asks you to forget. It teaches you to remember differently. You will begin to see divine symmetry, how every mistake carried hidden instruction, how every fall revealed new mercy, how even silence was God's strategy to reset your direction. The weight of regret will dissolve under the realization that grace was following you even in rebellion. You never walked alone. You simply walked unaware. Chosen one. Redemption is not only restoration, it is acceleration. God compresses years of learning into moments of realization. Suddenly, things align effortlessly. The favor that once seemed lost begins to locate you again. But now it sticks because your heart can hold it. When you emerge from this window, you will feel lighter. The heaviness of what if will turn into the peace of what now. You will walk with quiet authority, not as one who avoided failure, but as one who overcame it through mercy. The redeemed always carry a different glow. Their confidence is not loud, but unshakable. So breathe deeply. The window is open. Step through with courage, one with humility, with gratitude. Your story is not over. It's being rewritten by the author of time. The locusts stole chapters, but heaven still owns the book. Chosen one. Now the journey circles to its true beginning, the unveiling of the rise of the disciplined chosen one. You have been sifted, shaped, and sanctified through fire. The dust has settled. The echoes of yesterday's battles fade, and what remains is something pure, deliberate, and unstoppable. You no longer move from emotion, you move from assignment. Discipline is no longer a struggle. It has become your second nature. Where chaos once reigned, order now governs. The same silence that once frightened you has become your sanctuary. You do not need applause to confirm your direction or company to sustain your faith. You have learned that focus is freedom and obedience is oxygen. There is a quiet majesty about the disciplined soul. You wake with purpose, not panic. You speak less, yet your words carry more weight. You sense when to act, when to wait, and when to disappear into prayer. This steadiness terrifies darkness because chaos cannot manipulate a grounded spirit. You are no longer reactive, you are responsive, anchored in heaven's rhythm. The Spirit wants you to see what has been built within. The fire did not destroy you. It forged clarity. Pain carved wisdom into your speech. Waiting stretched patience into your spirit. Loss taught you to hold blessings loosely, not fearfully. Every trial that once threatened to undo you has now become muscle memory for spiritual warfare. You no longer flinch, you discern. Discipline is the language of mastery. It means you have learned to separate feeling from calling. You understand that some days will feel hollow, yet you still walk in purpose. You've learned to sow in silence, knowing that harvests whisper before they shout. This is the posture of divine maturity, to keep building even when the applause stops, because heaven's approval outweighs human validation. Chosen one. The disciplined ones are heaven's architects. God entrusts them with blueprints others can't see. While the undisciplined chase sparks of inspiration, you build foundations. You have learned that the greatest miracles are not sudden, they are sustained. Every day of obedience adds another layer to the fortress of your destiny. You used to fear repetition, but now you understand its holiness. Repetition is not boredom, it's devotion. Every prayer whispered at dawn, every act of consistency in secret, forms a rhythm that heaven recognizes as faithfulness. You are proof that consistency is the true miracle maker, as the Word of God declares in the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 11. No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. This is your harvest season, not of comfort, but of clarity. Peace now flows through you, not because life is easier, but because your roots run deep. Storms no longer scare you. They simply remind you that you are built for endurance. You have become the steady hand in a trembling world, the living embodiment of sacred resilience. The disciplined chosen one walks differently. You no longer rush into every opportunity. You measure whether it aligns with your assignment. You have learned that not every open door is divine, and not every silence is rejection. Discernment and discipline now dance together in your steps. You are moving at heaven's tempo, unhurried, unwavering, unshakable. The crown you wear now is invisible but undeniable. It is made of focus, forged by patience, and sealed by faith. The world may not recognize it, but creation does. The earth responds differently to those who walk in alignment. You will see how doors open effortlessly, how people sense peace in your presence, how clarity follows you like a shadow. Chosen one, the rise of the disciplined one is not loud, it is luminous. You do not need to prove that you have changed. Transformation speaks for itself. Every part of your being now hums with divine intention. You are not here to impress, you are here to impact. Let your every step be prayer. Let your breath be purpose. Let your days become evidence that heaven's training produces unbreakable souls. You have crossed from chaos into cadence, from emotion into excellence, from calling into commission. You are no longer becoming, you are. And in this realization, heaven smiles. The tests are complete, the refinement finished, the preparation fulfilled. The disciplined chosen one has risen not to boast, but to serve, not to dominate, but to illuminate. Walk in that light now, quiet, focused, steady, for the world will one day understand what heaven already knows. Discipline was your destiny all along. Chosen one, this is where the scroll closes, and the echo of every section joins into one truth. You were never ordinary. You were sculpted, sifted, and summoned for this exact moment in time. Everything you have endured, every silence you survived, every delay you accepted, it all prepared you for revelation. Now, as you breathe these final words, let peace wrap around you like a cloak. Heaven has spoken. The message has done its work. You know who you are now, not just a listener, but a vessel of divine awakening. Carry this light forward. Let your presence speak louder than your words. When you step into a room, let your calm rearrange the atmosphere. When others waver, let your stability remind them that faith can still hold ground in a shaking world. And if these words have reached deep into your spirit, if they have reminded you of who you are meant to be, then help the message travel further. Like this message, not as an act of habit, but as a sign of gratitude. A whisper that says, I received it. When you share, you turn this light into a ripple, guiding another soul who thought heaven had gone silent. Take a moment to comment what this journey has awakened in you. Your words may become the bridge for someone else's breakthrough. Testimonies are living fire, they pass from heart to heart, igniting courage in unseen places. And if you feel led to subscribe, do so with intention. It's not just staying connected, it's saying, I choose to remain under the flow of truth. The journey may close here, but the anointing continues. Walk in your divine rhythm. Chosen one, your crown is secure, your path illuminated, your light eternal.